Something a bit different. I have to turn this. Right, as most of you know, I do a lot of markets, and I had a client come to me at one over the Christmas, and pretty good client. I do a lot of work for him, and he asked me to turn this. He'd seen it in a gallery over in New York. He just didn't have the luggage space to buy it over there. It's an Art Deco bowl. I asked him, had he got a photograph of it? He said no, because the gallery didn't allow photographs. So I asked him to draw it, and this is what he drew. Right, the outside is very angular. The inside looks like a standard bowl to me, and what he calls the bottom stand, what we'd call a foot, seems to mirror the other angles. So we're gonna have a go at doing this. I said it's something a bit different, so I'll set up for doing this and I'll be back in a sec. Right then, on the lathe I've got a piece of tiger wood. It's in between 10 and 11 inches, and I cut freehand using discs. So I cut it to 11. I'll have to round it off on the lathe. The client wasn't too specific. He basically wasn't pushed on sizes and stuff. The one thing he was specific about was he wanted it done in tiger wood. Right, preferably if I could get a piece of tiger wood that had the contrast of sapwood and hardwood, which is what I'm after getting from. So first thing I'm going to do is round this down, and then we'll start thinking about sizing and marking and stuff. So I'll just round this down and really get on with this. Right then, I'll round it up. Now I'm just going to start thinking about what way to do this. Right, going by his sketch, right, it looks like that top part there is round about twice the size of that, and that is round about half the size of that. Right, that's what it looks like to me anyway. See, sometimes when you're dealing with clients, you get weird stuff like this. Right, so what have I got? I've got just about 4 inches. Right, so this is the foot. If I leave the foot about half an inch. See, let's get a sharper pencil. If I leave the foot about a half an inch, right, and leave the top part about 1.5 inches maybe. How does that look? No, that doesn't look right. I think this bowl needs balance. I think that there should be the same size as that there. So if I go 1 inch to 1 inch, that looks better in my head. As I said, the client was not too specific about measurements or anything like that. So foot there. Top part there. That doesn't look like 1 inch to me. It's not, it's slightly lower. So top part there. Let's forget this one. Right. As I said, sometimes you get these and you really have to work them out. Right, well the first thing I'm going to do is put a mortise on it. And we go from there. Right, so mortise first. And we'll use the large jaws. Now, I'm going to be very careful finishing the foot and stuff on this, because once I flip this around I will not be going back to the underside of this. Yeah, it's a good size. Now, this strange foot, which goes inwards. Probably the best way of doing this is to put a slice in it with a parting tool until I get the depth I want. Now, with the sketch, it seems to be quite a large foot, so that's what we'll go for. Right. I don't want it the full height or the full width of the bowl. That's just going to look weird. Now, in order to get it in there, I'm going to have to do both, because I won't be able to get down in there if I don't. What I don't want to do is match the angles exactly, but I do want them to be sympathetic to each other. I want the lines to be straight. Start coming in this way now. So we give this gouge a sharpen. Now, start getting this part. That looks pretty close. Might as well cut that one as well, as it's here. Right, those angles are all sympathetic to each other. Right now, I shall sand and finish that part before I flip it over. That is a huge foot on that, but that seems to be the way the sketch is. What do you think? Is that pretty close? I think it is. Do you know something? I wasn't sure about this, but that is actually, this could be a pretty shape. This could actually be a pretty shape. That might need slightly more of an angle on it. Does it? It does. That needs slightly more of an angle on it there. The top one. Yeah, that's the same. Yeah, that's better. That's more of a match there now to that angle. As I said, I wasn't too sure about this, but that is actually, it's an unusual shape. It's something new and it's what the client wants. So, right, I will sand and finish that part and we'll be back. Right, and we're back, just buffing off the hamster chain. To be honest, when I seen the original sketch of this, what I thought myself, wasn't too enamoured with it. But now that I actually see it, it's an interesting shape. It's actually different, and I quite like it. As I said, I don't know who the original turner was on this. that the client's seen in the gallery over in New York. If I find out, I will of course put the name in the description. Because I'm a strong believer in credit where credit's due. This is just my interpretation of a sketch of it. And it's a really rough sketch too. Right, so there it is. It does show the grain off beautifully, I must say. The shape does show that grain off beautifully. Right, now we flip this around and I'll get to the inside, which is really throwing me off. I'll explain why when we flip it over. So, back in a sec. Right then, we flipped it over, and now we're going to get to the really weird part of this. My natural instinct as a turner is to follow the outside shape of that bowl. Right, but the sketch, wherever I've put it, where did I put that sketch? This place is still in a mess because I haven't had a chance to move stuff around yet. Just having a time over the Christmas to do it. Ah, there it is. Okay, right. Then the sketch, and the client was adamant about this. He liked the contrast between the shape of the outside and the shape of the inside. As I said, my natural instinct is to follow the outside shape of that, but it's not what the client wants, and it would actually be easier because doing it this way, wall thickness, nothing to do with it. I'm going to have to cut by instinct basically. So the first thing I'm going to do is face it off. Right, now what I'm going to have to do to try and keep it in line with this sketch is to go straight in there until I get to that lip there, and then turn the bowl. Right. I just hope I don't go through that edge. Right. Right then. Now, first thing I'm going to do is to find the width that we're going to use, which is about that. Right, I'm just going to start hollowing out. Now, we need to go straight down here. Trying to start the curve. Let's get rid of a bit more of this. Let's throw some extra light on it, and then refocus the camera because that's going to white everything out. There we go. Right. that straight down. Look at that. I'm about halfway down to that now. So to finish that cut, then I need to start the curve. Good, finish cutting it. Right, now I need to start that curve, so I'm going to start taking the middle out. Check that wall. Right, there's still quite a bit of meat there, so I can get a better curve on this. Still quite heavy, so we can still get a better curve on this. Oh, still quite heavy. Yeah, I'm starting to go in there, so I can't get that curve down that way anymore. Because that looks. Let me see. No, I can get another cut out of that. Trying to avoid doing what my instinct is telling me and go that way. Because that is not what the client wants. Right, I'm going to go to the longer handle ball gouge. Just for leverage. A bit of extra control. See there. So what I got to make sure of is that I don't go too close to that edge that's down at the bottom. Yeah, that's not too bad. Right, take away some more of the middle. clear the shavings out. Let me see. Excuse me. Right. Oh, there's a bit of dust coming off this. Right, get in there as close as I can get. My dust cleaner has got turned off. Surprised for the air was so dusty. Down into that base. Not quite, I don't think. Still a lot of meat there in the base, so we can go down a bit more. Yeah, there's another cut in that. So look at that now. Yeah, now I'm down to the base on that. Right then. We will sand that. Now there's a bump there. I don't like it. Something won't sand it just yet. There's a bump just there. It's not smooth. It's not a smooth curve. Feather it out. Get rid of the bump. Nearly gone. Yeah, that got it. Right. Now, we'll sand that and finish it. It's a strange shape, but I think I can see where this is going, actually. Right, so I'll sand that, finish it. I'll be back in a minute. Right then, just buffing off the wax. And I just noticed that on the camera lens there, I don't know how long it's been there, there was a slight little splash of Yorkshire grit. And I don't know when it got there, so if it blocked out on here, I apologise. But when I started to turn this bowl, and when I seen the sketch first, I didn't get it. The contrast between the outside and the inside, to be honest with you. I do now. It's actually, it actually balances out very nicely. The curved inside with the angled outside. I can see why the client liked it. Now I have another identical piece of wood to this one, and I will be doing another one of these bowls out of it, because I actually like it. Didn't think I would, but I do. And there's the inside. Right, I'll take it off the lid and give you a better look at it. Back in a sec. Right then, and that's my interpretation of a rough sketch that I was given by a client. As I said, I didn't think it would work as a design when I seen it, but it actually does, surprisingly. I said I'm actually quite pleased with the way it turned out. I'll stick up some stills at the end, and if you wouldn't mind, if you like the video, giving it a thumbs up, that would be most appreciated, and I'll see you in the next one.